Okay, so when I was brought onto the project, literally my college roommate, Jeremy Glenn, brought us in, introduced us, and showed me some architectural drawings they had for the house and the studio. We had, Ray, was it 1,100 square feet? Something like that.
It's just under, it's a little over 1,000.
A little over 1,000.
Sean, check it out. You gotta see this thing. It's hysterical. It's got dimmers. You can go this bright, and then you start doing this. I don't know how to do it now. Oh, crap. Oh, there he goes. I did not warm up. I'm like, ow! I should have played this. Ray's king of bossa nova. Just put that only. Like heavy metal drummer Ray Luzier.
I feel like, the philosophy is you can always deaden something down when you need to. So we wanted to make it as live as possible. And Ray had a vision from the beginning of big open windows. He's got this beautiful view out here, this hillside, lots of open land, lots of natural light. You notice the skylights, which I did at one point talk to him about, hey, the skylights, that's gonna be tricky, but we ended up making it work. It's a double layer of, I think, 1/2-inch glass, and it works great, and he gets the natural light. Friends at RLX hooked us up with these great panels. He's got an artist deal with them, and I think overall it turned out really cool. We loved, my favorite thing about this place for sure, just thinking about it again from a drummer's perspective, are these two loft areas, which too small to make a true loft, but just large enough to throw something up there with some nice, he's got some nice ribbon mics from SE up there right now. And the idea was, obviously we're trying to break up parallels, but we also wanted to have some sense of symmetry in here. So we kind of did a mock version of this booth over here, which the booth wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't in the original plans, but we thought, might as well have it and not need it. So we built it, and it's turned out great. Great sight lines. You get a vocalist in there. It's perfect shape for a guitar player, acoustic, electric, whatever you want. And it's just off the control room. You got double walls. The exterior looks like a house. It looks like this is the bonus room or the garage or something like that, but we had to take extra steps. And you'll see the gaps between the walls, and it's really just about details. It's nothing fancy. It's pretty basic construction. It's just monitoring the details, making sure structural things are not touching where they shouldn't be touching, because that is going to transmit all these drums right through to the outside, to the neighbors, to the rest of the family and the rest of the house. We really put a lot of attention to details. Lots and lots of trips out here to just make sure framing and drywall and all those things weren't touching. You'll notice the double door system here helps a ton. You got a double wall over here with double glass. And then in here, we wanted to have some kind of airlock, again, to just have separation, but we try to leave no space unused. So just in case we wanted to throw a guitar cab or something, we threw some mic lines and even a headphone box in here. And then here we made the most use of this space. I think it's actually a really great sounding control room. It's tighter, but it does have a little bit higher ceilings, and you can see the design of the ceiling here helps just break up that floor ceiling bounce. Also, obviously, we have lots of panels from our friends at RLX. Shout out to Rob for the hookup there. The rest of it is Ray and Scott. Scott Bush, the engineer, does a fantastic job. At the time when I first started talking with Ray about the design, I was working with an artist named Marcus King on his studio. Marcus, crazy talented guy, good dude. And he's got a front yard full of this old stone that he's trying to get rid of. And he's like, hey, do you know anybody that can haul away that stone? And in the meantime, I'm thinking, man, I actually know a great place for that stone. And so that is Marcus King's ex stone right there that was in his yard. And we hired a mason to haul it over and put it up. And so you get that live diffusion where when those sound waves are hitting it, it's just bouncing everywhere and scattering. And I think that's kind of what brings some of that air that you like.
Absolutely.
A little bit of that, and it bounces back up into the rhythms.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcus, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus. Appreciate that.
Seriously, yeah. But a couple of my friends' studios have had in LA, Jeff Pilson's one of them, and he had this beautiful stone wall behind the drums. And I was like, man, this sounds, I could just hear the sound off of it.
That's right. You sent me a picture, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I was like, yeah, that must have been when the light bulb went off. I was like,
Right.
he needs it moved.
Yeah.
Ray wants stone.
Wait, I got it. But and my buddy even here in Nashville, Doug Bozzi, who does a lot of movie soundtrack stuff, he has it behind him. And I love the look and the vibe of it, the feel of it. And I think it has the perfect combination with the cloud above it and just the air that projects. Like you said, it's just audio's flying everywhere. And it's, some people aren't a big fan of that. I've run into some people that are like, wow, you have stone back there? And then I'll play them something. They'll go, oh, wow, it sounds like that here. And I'm like, yes. So
we made the best use of the space.
Totally.
I think, and it took a little trial and error. I was like, and just going back and forth, learning what's important to you. And Scott making as big a control room as we could, given we know we got to make a big drum room.
Yeah.
And I think we found that perfect compromise.
Yep. Even down to the vocal booth, because I didn't really envision the vocal booth at all. I'm thinking, okay, we'll throw the vocalist in the control room, they can do whatever. And then Sean had that idea, and I'm like, I really don't want to kill the real estate of the drum room. But the way he designed it with these two patterns going back like this, it worked out actually perfect.
When did you start playing? How old were you?
2 weeks ago.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, I really am just trying to, like when I was, I got 5, I think I got my first kit, And my parents couldn't afford a drum kit, so my dad welded together 3 Maxwell House coffee cans. Seriously, welded them together like high, and I spray painted them orange. And I had this piece of crap CB 700 kit, and I remember like going, check this out, because I was playing the little, coffee cans. And he still has them at his house in Pennsylvania, my parents. Starting to get some really cool instruments and gear in the studio, and one of the most prized possessions by far is from Mr. Mick Mars himself, a little band called Motley Crue. You might have heard of them.
These definitely go all the way to 11.
Yeah.
Loudness 1 and 2.
There you go. But Mick, I did Mick's first solo record, which is the only record he ever did on his own, called The Other Side of Mars. Very proud of it. We became really good friends with Mick. What an incredible human being he is. And he's got wallpaper of Marshalls just in his house. And I was making a joke one day, like, hey man, one of those would look great in my studio. And he's like, what? And he just kind of mumbled something and walked away. And I was like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said that. And anyway, months go by and he goes, were you gonna take one of these or not? And I was like, yes, I am, sir. They call Scott and get over here. And this other one is Mr. James Monkey Schaefer. Thank you very much, James, for the Mesa. Just the Korn studio in Bakersfield, California. There's just gear for days, and I just love the Korn sound. Obviously, the guitars have always been one of my favorite things about the band. That GK came from Mr. Rod Diaz, who's playing bass with us right now. The Synergy amps, have you ever tried those? The Synergies in the control room? Scott plugged in the other day, and that Boston, like the band Boston.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Tom Scholz.
Tom Scholz, the exact sound.
Yeah, the Rockman.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Dude, like literally.
Staying forever.
Yeah. He started playing Don't Look Back and this old More Than a Feeling. I'm like, dude, that's the sound.
Yeah.
So I'm very impressed with that Synergy stuff. We've been recording with that as well. But we did some Cheap Trick covers and some AC/DC stuff recently for some movie soundtracks. And it's funny because he plugged in there and there's nothing like guitars coming through a Marshall still. Of course,
Never will be.
Yeah, the simulator you can do, of course, they sound amazing. But it's funny, I go, Scott, plug into the Marshall and just do that Cheap Trick song one time. He's a huge Rick Nielsen fan. And dude, he did like 3 bars. And I went, that's it. We're doing them all with that, So, hey, I go, Peter Criss and Ace Frehley's on there? Because like one of the reasons I play drums is because when you're on a big farm, Kiss was on the cover of everything. So I was like, I guess they're the coolest band ever. And then so, I have their guitar now. Yeah, this is actually from the dude himself. This is Neil's on one of Neil's last drum kits. Very, very special. What a drummer. Just influenced the entire planet. We're trying to do stuff from the source here and make it sound good from the actual, whatever the mic is hitting to reproduce that sound. Because then it can only go up from there, right? Sound-wise.
within inches, we were able to achieve that.
Absolutely. Even legendary people, Billy Sheen is a good buddy of mine. I did his last 2 solo records. He sat right here, plugged in, and he just does one of these, like, oh, it sounds really good in here. Like, yeah, it sounds awesome in here. The vibe he got instantly from just sitting here was an awesome thing, you know, because how many he's 72. How many studios has that guy been in? Right. You know, some of the best musicians on the planet he's played with, you know, so. And like you said, the rock producers, Nick Raskulinix was here, and worked with him a lot. And then to impress someone like him that's such a stickler for sound, he's an audiophile. Yeah, I was really, really blown away at, you know, first of all, you know, having this land of just dirt, you know, starting from the ground up is always an advantage and a privilege, you know, if you can do that. Because in the past, I've made home studios, I've soundproofed half of garages, I've made a common space into it, try to make it into a drum room, and it's never quite there. You know, you can always put EQ and effects and try to sometimes sampling over top of it. But when I met with Sean, I was really adamant about, I want a great sounding drum room from the source. It's got to have, you know, if you put a mic on it, I want the room to have air sound. I want it to breathe, and just, you know, because there's so much, especially in today's technology, it's so easy to sample the drums, and you can make a cardboard box sound like an amazing drum. I want drums to sound like amazing drums, and we definitely achieved that with this room. I had no idea what to do. Sean knew everything. You know, I've been a musician my whole life, recorded in hundreds of studios, but I don't know, you know, no parallel walls. I didn't know, you know, Sean had the idea of 16 to 13 foot ceilings, and I'm like, why would you do that? And it was explaining everything. And you know, a lot of people don't care if it's noon or midnight in studios. I'm all about, I'll get up at 7, 8 a.m. and get in here rocking, because I just love it. Picture window, I wanted skylights. I think he tried to talk me out of skylights, didn't you at first?
Tried. Like, we worked it out.
He's like, how about we just do a big window over here? I'm like, dude, I really want to, like, what if I'm like in the middle of a track and it's raining and I just want to watch the rain for a minute and I can see it hit I'm just weird like that, you know, just a vibe thing. So, but, you know, like I said, I love the fact that I just see scenery, and that no one's, you know, we own this land, which is awesome because no one will ever build there. So I can, you know, I'll be tracking in the middle of the take, and Scott, the engineer, will be like, dude, are you here? Like, what's going on? I go, dude, there's like 3 hawks sitting on a fence right now. And I'm like in the middle of the take, so, you know, but I love that. I just love the vibe, you know. Kudos to Sean Neff, because I couldn't have done this, you know, without him. And I only had 1,000 square foot to work with, and I was a little apprehensive about that. I was like, how's this gonna be? How's this, you know? He's like, dude, you gave me what, 3 or 4 plans in the beginning, and actually mapped out, well, we can put the control room here, we can do this. And I didn't even know you could do that within 1,000 square feet. So, you know, yeah.